Welcome everybody to Great Crossing High School. A beautiful Tuesday evening outside. We're inside the GCHS gym for Bird's Nest Broadcasting Network doubleheader action in the 41st District once again. I think this is 3 Tuesday nights in a row or something like that, maybe 3 out of 4. Seems like this has been a regular thing lately. Tonight, the Great Crossing Warhawks and Lady Warhawks will be hosting the Wolverines of Western Hills out of Frankfort. It's a big game on the boys' side as it's a battle of unbeatens in the district. But first up, we get the girls, the red-hot Great Crossing girls with a record of 6-7, but that includes 5 straight wins going up against Western Hills, which enters the game with a record of 6-9, and they are 0-2 in the district. So it would look like, Derek Varney, that Great Crossing is favored again tonight. Things are going well. What should we look for early to see if they're still going well?
Well, just to keep their same intensity and playing and shooting the ball the way they have, Cal. I mean, they've just absolutely been shooting the eyes out of it. The games that we've had, I can comfortably say now, I think they've turned the corner. I really do. I
believe they have, too. If you look at their their first game was a defensive struggle. They won in the consolation bracket of the traditional Bank Classic. That was December 23rd, 41-28. It was a Monday morning game, so that might have something to do with that score over South Warren. And then you look at the last 4 games, 95 points against Iroquois, 87 against Frankfort, 78 against West Jessamine, and 69 against Woodford County. And they had 41 at halftime against Woodford County, and it became a more defensive struggle. I know they shut down Delaney Enlow in that one, let her have nothing in the second half, and she's a 2,000-point scorer. So this team's getting it done at both ends of the court. They've got a chance to kind of set themselves up as number 2 in the district through the first half of the schedule. Their only loss, we were here for a 6-point loss to Franklin County, and there's no shame in that. Franklin County certainly talked about as one of the top 10 teams in the state, and Great Crossing's got to feel good going into that rematch on Friday night. As we mentioned, this is a doubleheader. The boys will be out later. Coach Steve Page for Great Crossing says this is probably the best team Western Hills has had in a long while. We'll see if Great Crossing can continue its undefeated run. Just looking ahead a little bit to that game, what are you expecting in that one, Derek?
Well, and of course, I'm going to go back and tell you this. Guess when Western Hills had their last best team? Of course, right when
when you were playing?
Right, exactly.
It's been a while? Is that what you're
saying? It's been a long while, buddy. Yes, sir. But, I've heard from other people around that Western Hills has a team that can really play, and they're going to be, fighting for a district championship. And I think, I'm glad we get to see them tonight right here against Great Crossing.
They get a pretty key transfer, Zach Simonis. He's averaging 22 points a game. He was at Frankfort Christian last year. He's come over to Western Hills and certainly bolstered their hopes. We're ticking down in the pregame here. We'll give you the starting lineups. We'll probably have the national anthem first. Yes, we will. So we'll take a break for that. We'll be back to the lineups on the other side. The Great Crossing High School Band presenting the Star Spangled Banner tonight. I'm Cal Oakes along with Derek Varney. We are here for doubleheader action between Great Crossing and Western Hills here on the Bird's Nest Broadcasting Network. at newsgraphic.com and also at the NFHS Network. I want to encourage you to subscribe and read the News Graphic. I want to also thank our other sponsors. We'll get them in throughout the night, but Raising Cane's, DMK CPA, Georgetown College, Scott County Veterinary Clinic, Burger King, Bluegrass Orthopedics, West Banco, and Steve Skierman of Kentucky Farm Bureau Insurance among them. Western Hills being introduced. They have 2 seniors on their entire roster. It's the tandem of Kellen Kilgore, number 12, and Maddie LeCompte, number 10. If you look, they are 2 of the 3 leading scorers for the Lady Wolverines. LeCompte is far and away the show for them. She averages 18.6 per game and also 4.2 rebounds. She's being introduced now, along with Kiana Mitchell, Lauren McGahee, Audrey Butler, and as we mentioned, Kellen Kilgore. She is also she's a 6.6 point per game scorer, Mitchell averaging 8. They're not a high-scoring team, and they've had kind of an up-and-down season. As we mentioned, the 6-9 record. They come in having won 3 of their last 5, wins over Madison Central, Henry County, and Frederick Douglass. Losses to Cal, Christian Academy of Louisville, and Franklin County by 22. The Lady Warhawks will have Braylee McMath, the leading scorer. She's the straw that stirs the drink, number 3, the point guard, coming off 26 points at Woodford County the other night, just about a triple-double in her past couple of games. It's only been the margin on the scoreboard, I think, that's kept her away from it. Timothy Williams had 30 points and 12 steals down at West Jessamine the other night. It's just an incredible double-double.
She should have been arrested. Jeez, OP.
That's 4 shy of the KHSAA record. I can't imagine 16 steals, but somebody apparently at some point in history did. Rachel Smith, number 1. She's been a consistent contributor. She had double digits in the Woodford win as well. Ava Skierman, the 8th grader, we've sung her praises quite a bit on the air this year. She's in the lineup again tonight. And the freshman Reagan Barrett, who's come on like gangbusters of late with a bunch of double-digit scoring performances. And she will be in there as well. She's kind of the inside presence for the Lady Warhawks. Getting ready to tip it off. Derek, any final thoughts?
No, I think what you were talking about, Reagan Barrett, that's huge, the inside presence, because the first couple games we had her, she kind of just didn't get a whole lot done. And I think she's coming to her own now. She knows she can score. She's going harder to the boards, and I think this should be a good one tonight.
One behind-the-scenes thing to look for. Bradley McMath's been hampered a little bit by a leg injury. You want to see how she's moving early in the game. She's a gamer. I really don't think you'll see much of anything hold her back. As Williams takes the ball after Great Crossing wins the tap. Now Skierman driving the right baseline.
Beautiful.
Good. What a nice move there by the 8th grader.
No backside help in the lane there, and Ava just took advantage of just blowing by her man. I mean, it was a beautiful drive.
Western Hills almost throws it away, but
Double
Butler
dribble.
recovers and double dribbles. So with only 21 seconds gone, a quick score for the Lady Warhawks and a quick turnover for the Lady Wolverines. Things going according to plan and the way they've been going lately for GC as McMath brings the ball up. She has LeCompte on her. That's a battle of 18-point-per-game scorers. Quick pass inside is tipped before it can get to Rachel Smith. That will stay with Great Crossing.
That's a great set right there, and it barely got tipped, but McMath, set it up where Smith was going backdoor and just barely missed her.
Smith into Barrett, gets knocked around. There'll be a foul there. I believe it'll be on number 2, Kiana Mitchell, for the Lady Wolverines. That's the first foul of the game, 30 seconds in. 2-0 Great Crossing, your score. Rachel Smith getting ready to inbound under the basket. Fires into McMath, who's deep behind the line. Now over to Williams for a 3, and it's good. Timothy Williams picking up where she left off over the weekend, and it's 5-0 Great Crossing. Now the ball is on the floor, stolen by Barrett to McMath, up off the glass and in. Just like that, 7-zip. Touchdown and an extra point. Wow. Western Hills wants a timeout 44 seconds in.
Great start for a Great Crossing right there. I mean, what more can you ask for? 2 layups and a 3, and you're, 3 for 3 from the floor right
3
now.
for 3, and it's been easy. They've been uncontested shots. And they're looking for each other. They're willing. McMath passed up a 3 to give Williams a better 3. And voila, there it was, 7-0.
They go into the huddle, and they lasted about 2 seconds there because what Coach Wilson says is, keep going, ladies.
Yeah, exactly. Just do what you're doing.
Get back out there.
3 makes for the Lady Warhawks, 2 turnovers for the Lady Wolverines.
And a malfunctioning horn.
This scoreboard here has tripped up some of the users to this point. It's a little bit newfangled and a little bit different, I think. Inbound, some pressure again in the backcourt from McMath. Now she'll back up a little bit.
They're going to keep that pressure on as
why not,
smart.
right?
Exactly right.
There's Mitchell off the back of the rim, no good. Tipped around and up, not in. Off the rim again by McGahee and rebounded by Skierman. Now up quickly is McMath over to Williams once again. She'll drive and then kick to Skierman from 3. No. Rebounded, fought for, and recovered by McMath, who fires to Barrett, who finds Skierman again. And the Lady Warhawks will reset.
Tap on top of the head. It's a high ball screen from McMath, and there's the mid-range jumper.
Top of the key off the rim, no good. Barrett gets the rebound, up and in.
Beautiful. Beautiful by Reagan Barrett.
First couple of misses by the Lady Warhawks, but on the same possession, they score again to make it 9-0. We are just barely 90 seconds in. Now a steal by Rachel Smith. Up to Skierman. 3 from Williams. No. Rebound, kicked around. Skierman fights for it. Now she might walk, yes.
That's okay. She's fighting hard right there.
Take that.
That's an okay walk.
That's a hustle turnover.
Yes. I don't know if you've noticed, but on McMath's jumper there, it didn't have quite the lift.
No.
Did not have quite the lift she normally does, and it's due to that leg injury.
She may look to pass a little bit more.
Sure. And another thing I hadn't seen before, I saw Timothy Mitchell drive the lane and kick out. I've never seen her do that.
And another turnover for the Lady Wolverines, as Western Hills has only crossed half court once, I think, to this point, and it was a couple of quick shots that didn't go down. Now Smith to McMath. I think she was on the line. It's no good anyhow.
Again,
rebound
she's a little bit
fought for by
short.
Skierman, and it will go back the other way. They're calling a push, I think, on the rebounding action.
So again, she's a little bit short there, Cal, just due to the fact she just does not have the lift in those legs.
Something to watch for here over the next week or two is that's one of those things that'll take some time to recover. Inbound pass from Kilgore there. She's not finding anyone. Now it's stolen by Williams. Timothy Williams with it to Skierman once again, to Smith, to McMath from 3. Now she fakes it. Head fake, dish to Barrett, back to Smith. Smith with a floater, good. All 5 starters have scored just the way you draw it up, 11-0.
This is going to get ugly, Cal.
Yeah, it is. This might be the first running clock win for the Lady Warhawks this season. They haven't had one of those. They haven't had a loss either. They've been in a lot of competitive games. That had to be something, but it was nothing. It was knocked out of bounds and thrown out of bounds by number 10, Maddie LeCompte, that will go to GC.
And sometimes you're going to get referees, Cal, that when you're imposing your will like that, she was determined to get to the bucket, had her head down, shoulders down. They're not going to call anything.
All's well that ends well for Great Crossing.
Right.
They're back with it with just over 5:30 to play. Smith drives the lane from just inside the foul line, hits the floater.
She's feeling it.
It's a baker's dozen for GC, nothing for Western Hills. And stolen again by Smith. Bounce pass to Skierman. I think it's already ugly, Derek.
Skierman loves that baseline.
Skip pass to McMath. Spots up from the left elbow. Off the rim, no good. Rebounded by LeCompte, or rather Mitchell, for Western Hills, who finally crossed the timeline. I think that's the 3rd time.
That's their 3rd first down.
Yes, almost stolen by McMath as she's hot and heavy on LeCompte. And the ball loose for a moment, but Western Hills recovers it.
It's Great Crossing's
Stolen
pressure.
by Timmy Williams. And an uncontested layup for a 15-0 lead. Stop the fight.
Absolutely. No mas. No mas.
Western Hills.
No more box.
If you're a student, go out to the lobby and sign up. It's Kings Night.
So all 5 starters have scored.
Shooting competition, both for the girls' game and for boys' game. So go out to the lobby area and sign
I want to
up.
thank some more of our sponsors, Chick-fil-A of Georgetown, Green's Toyota of Lexington, Clark's Pump and Shop with its 2 Georgetown locations, People's Bank, Galvin's on Main, Georgetown Community Hospital, Workhouse Properties, Toyota Motor Manufacturing of Kentucky, Burger King, Bluegrass Orthopedics. I think we mentioned them already. I think we've made the full cycle. I want to thank our personal sponsors at the News Graphic. They sponsor our Breaking the Huddle show each week. That would be SCAD, Scott County Ends Against Drugs, and Moses Inc. for all your lawn care needs right here in Georgetown, off Georgetown Road. 4:47 remaining in the first quarter, 15-0. Great Crossing. Well on their way to the 500 mark for the first time in school history, as they lost their first 5 games. So they were nowhere close to that early on, but they have recovered and then some.
We saw Patrick Mahomes do it on Sunday. Maybe Western Hills may be able to.
You know,
I mean, that was.
Do they have Travis Kelce
Right.
standing under the basket? I don't know. More pressure in the backcourt by Great Crossing. McMath on LeCompte. We mentioned LeCompte has averaged almost 19 points a game. Nobody, including her, have scored yet for Western Hills. There's a steal by Williams up ahead to McMath. It's good. 17-zip. So 2 touchdowns and a field goal now. We're not even to the halfway point of the first quarter. Certainly on a record pace. That'll be slowed if they get to 35. There's a shot from the top of the key, no good. It was mishandled by number 2, Kiana Mitchell, and it will go to Great Crossing.
And I think Coach Page has already told the boys, go ahead and get dressed, boys.
Might as well get ready. This one might start right at 7:30 as scheduled.
Get ready.
I'm not going to complain. Maybe
No.
we can get over the end of the Scott County game tonight.
Right.
If everything continues at this rate. McMath to Rachel Smith for 3. Boom. My goodness. 20 to nothing. 4:05 remaining in the first quarter. Steal by Smith. Stepped on the line. Is that the first turn? Maybe the second turnover for Great Crossing. I don't know. There haven't been many.
And
It's
the thing
been
about
just
it was
about a perfect game.
It was a turnover off a steal.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a wash when you think about it. And it's a 50-50 deal. 6 of one, half dozen of the other. That should have been a woulda, shoulda, coulda in that court. Western Hills will keep it nonetheless. That's a dangerous pass inside. The shot is no good. Rebounded by the shooter, however, and she'll get fouled. Rachel Shropshire, easy for me to say, will go to the line. She just came off the bench. And we'll try to put Western Hills on the board with a couple from the line.
At the line, number 22, Shropshire, she'll shoot 2.
Shropshire. She's an 8th grader.
Nice.
Makes the first one. Nice form on the free throw.
Absolutely.
It might be Western Hills' best hope here to slow this game down and get back into a little bit. I'm not saying they're going to come back and threaten, but at least to kind of get their footing, get to the line a little bit. Of course, you got to cross the timeline to do that.
She's making another opportunity.
She will, as there was a lane violation on Reagan Barrett there. She was kind of struggling to keep her balance. And fell in. Layla Custard will take Reagan's place as Coach Wilson will coach up that situation.
And what he's coaching up there is when there's a shot on this side of the goal, Reagan has to know that it's coming off on the other side. She's just still learning that.
Rebound to McMath as Shropshire missed the second one. McMath will take it down. No look behind the back to Williams. Williams on the drive. And they'll call her for the offensive foul. It was kind of a glancing blow, but LeCompte hit the deck.
I think she passed up a better shot to what she did. She should have, on the beautiful pass from McMath, Timothy should have just gathered her feet.
Stop and pop.
Yeah, should have just knocked it down.
Yeah. And a tie up there as Skierman gets a handle on it, but it will stay with Western Hills. Audrey Butler was the player in the jump ball situation for Western Hills. Now LeCompte looking for somebody, anybody. She'll find 15, Denise Waddell. It's knocked around, stolen by McMath, who takes it right to the hoop and in.
Beautiful.
Doesn't get much easier than this, folks.
No,
22-1.
These are self-imposed turnovers by Western Hills as well. There's another
Steal
one.
by Williams. Williams attempted bounce pass to Skierman, stolen by LeCompte. LeCompte will take it the distance, get fouled, and go to the line. It'll be on Smith. Yes, Rachel Smith will get the foul there. So the clock stops with 3:14 remaining in the first quarter. 22-1. That's right, in case you're just joining us. Great Crossing, your leaders.
Yeah, that's not a malfunction in your radio,
no,
in your computer or
you
whatever.
do not need to change your batteries or anything else. Maddie LeCompte gets on the board for the first time. Deuces wild on the scoreboard, but only 1 for Western Hills, 2 for Great Crossing. .314 remaining for all you math fans, and that's not McMath, as LeCompte makes both. 22-3. McMath dribbles slowly across the timeline, dishes over to Rachel Smith, who finds Skierman in the corner. She will spot up and hit it.
Killed it. Yes.
3-pointer for Ava.
Beautiful.
She has 5, and they're a quarter of the way to the century mark with 2:56 remaining in the first quarter.
Western Hills went to a 1-3-1, right? Gave him a 1-3-1 look, and Skierman ran the baseline
LeCompte,
knocked it
wild
down.
layup, off balance, no good. Stolen away, though, by 11. That is Butler, and a shot rolls off the rim. Rebound, also no good. Rebound again. Shropshire will get fouled and go back to the line, where she is 1 for 2 so far. I don't know that the clock ever started there.
That's her first, team fifth.
No, and we're watching it closely.
It will be running soon enough.
Yes,
I'm
it
not
will.
too worried. Shropshire misses the first. Barrett checks back in along with Williams. Custard and Smith sit down for great crossing.
We're going with the 8th grader.
Yep.
Beam.
Emma Beam checks into the game. She's had a couple of spot starts this year, mostly coming off the bench for Barrett and Skurman.
She does a
kind
really
of
good job. She carries herself well. She's very mature. She's going to be a great player.
I think the same can be said for so many girls in this team. It's exciting to think
Oh,
about
yeah.
the future, but the present looks pretty good too as McMath rips it away and Beam recovers.
Nice pass.
Now Ward ahead to Williams, ahead to Barrett. Beautiful ball movement for the and one.
Cal, did you see Reagan Barrett catch that and never bring it down?
No,
that's what's beautiful.
textbook. She didn't put it on the floor. And, you know, I know some of us who were here for the boys' game against Douglas the other night were saying they put it on the floor an awful lot. There's too much dribbling, and there's a better way to advance through that pressure.
Yeah, there is. And Reagan Barrett keeps it high, above the shoulder. She catches it high and keeps it high and gets the and one right there.
She makes the free throw to make it 28-3.
Beautiful.
We've still got a football score here, one that's familiar to Patriots fans. 3-point attempt by LeCompte is good. That takes care of that.
Yep.
She's got 5 out of the 6 for Western Hills. McMath quickly up, looks for Williams behind the 3-point arc. It's off the back of the rim, no good. Rebounded by the Lady Wolverines. Number 2, Kiana Mitchell. Now LeCompte, Maddie LeCompte. She's the show for Western Hills as she dribbles with under 2 minutes remaining in a tough quarter for her team, no doubt. At the top is Butler. Inside to the elbow to LeCompte, spins around, kicks it over to the left corner to Kilgore.
Uh-oh.
It's good.
Uh-oh.
She was on the line. They're heating up a little bit,
The Lady Wolves.
28-8. That's 5 straight points for Western Hills. It's a 20-point lead
Nice
for Great
pass.
Crossing. Drive and dish to Beam from McMath. 30-8 as Emma Beam gets on the board. 6 different players have scored in this opening period. LeCompte taking her time.
Bull McMath can break you down quickly.
Ooh, pick and roll there, but the pass was over the head and off the fingers of Kellen Kilgore. Number 15, Denise Waddell checks in, and along with Rachel Shropshire. Shropshire is going to be the death of me. That is a hard name to say.
Shropshire, yeah.
Shropshire. Rachel Smith taking her sweet time over to Williams as McMath has sat down for a breather. Ward takes a 3 that's no good and rebounded and taken the distance by number 15 of Western Hills, Waddell, but she kicks it back to Kilgore. Now Kilgore to Mitchell. Mitchell with Ward on her, dribbles with 50 seconds remaining.
She missed a wide open teammate underneath there.
Number 12 is Kilgore again, now to
Little dribble drive.
Waddell, and then a 3-point attempt. It's off and rebounded by Barrett, who
Good
finds
rebound.
Smith.
Good rebound, Reagan.
She's tearing it down with authority.
is.
Timmy Williams thought about the 3, gave it to Smith, who thought about the 3. Now back to Williams. They're playing pass behind the arc. Williams has a good look from the right corner. It's no good, rebounded by Kilgore.
Williams said, that's enough. I've already looked at 2. I'm not going to let this third one go by.
Western Hills trying to get into double digits. It would be a Pyrrhic victory, to say the least. Steal by Ward, up ahead to Williams, all alone for the breakaway layup. 7 for Williams. Smith has 7. McMath has 6. Barrett 5 and Skurman 5 in this opening period. Smith with a steal, or got her hands in there at the buzzer.
Good hustle by Smith right there at the end of the quarter.
Your score after 1 period here at Great Crossing High School. The Lady Warhawks 32. The Lady Wolverines of Western Hills High School 8. On the Bird's Nest Broadcasting Network. I want to remind you that we have a boys game that we think will be substantially closer coming up at 7:30 tonight, and we don't want you to dilly-dally. We want you to be here at 7:30 because at this rate it will start on time. Williams and Smith 7 points apiece in that quarter, as we mentioned. McMath was 6. Great Crossing, you want to take a look at their schedule because this will get them to the 500 mark. We're going to project them. CNN projecting. Great Crossing is the winner here. We're going to move ahead to Franklin County on Friday night. That's going to be a tough one on the road. Then they've got the next day at Bryan Station. That should be a
what
fairly.
What is up with these weekends, Cal?
They're playing travel weekend.
They
both
really
both
are.
Friday and Saturday, both the boys and the girls teams from Great Crossing hitting the road this weekend and last
And
weekend.
Scott County did it too last weekend.
And Scott County's been on the road. They gave themselves a trip to Oldham County right after the game against Henry Clay. A little bit of insane scheduling, which has both boys teams in the county on the sub-500 side of things. Of course, it's a busy night tonight. Scott County's hosting Madison Central on the boys' side. The girls are traveling to Paul Lawrence Dunbar for a really big 11th region battle there. We hope to get some scores as we're able, as we have a whistle to start the second quarter. Looks like there'll be a little touch foul on Western Hills LeCompte. Didn't really see a ton of contact there to gain an advantage. Barrett over to Williams in that corner. She's liked it so far. Now Barrett at the foul line, back to Williams. Skip pass to Smith from 3. Left corner, no good. But
good
right there
rebound.
is Skierman, strong side. And a strong putback, 34
I love that
to 8.
Skierman can catch it on that side, and she still uses it. Nobody was around her. She still goes up left-handed on the left side.
Williams almost got her hand on the inbounds pass. As we're going to get to 35 before the half, I do believe. I don't think the running clock will start until the second half, but it's something to keep our eyes on anyway. Top of the key for Western Hills, in and out, no good. Rebound, though, is good by Kiana Mitchell for her first basket. Puts them in the double digits, 34 to 10.
If I do see a Great Crossing weakness tonight, which there's really none, it's just the defensive end rebounding, Cal. They just don't crash the boards. You got too many girls. When you get a lead like this, you got too many ladies trying to leak out for the easy layup.
Drive and a scoop shot good by McMath. That makes it 36 to 10. Now Western Hills breaks the pressure and gets fouled. Skierman will get called for the contact against Shropshire, who will go back to the line. She's been there a couple of times. She's only 1 for 4.
Skierman gets called for the foul a good 5 seconds after she fouled.
Yeah, it was a delayed call. That wasn't just your TV or radio.
Right.
As it's good by Shropshire, 36 to 11. Certainly the biggest lead Great Crossing's had this early in the game all season, but it hasn't affected them at all. They haven't slowed down one bit. And I don't know what the buzzer was for. The ref saying keep playing. I guess he's gotten used to it already. There's going to be some malfunctions. Williams with a pull-up, no good. Tipped around. Western Hills gets the rebound. It's Mitchell.
Williams was in between, didn't know whether she wanted to bank that one or shoot that one straight in.
Behind the back dribble by Kilgore. Now she'll dish it to LeCompte. LeCompte on the drive, tries to get around Williams. I think she might have gotten fouled by Skierman again. If so, that's 3 on Ava. No, they're going to call it on Williams.
Well, you know Ava's not going to leave any fouls. She's not going to go home with any.
She takes advantage of her 5 just
She
about
does.
every game. Williams gets her second. 6:30 to play in the half. 36 to 11. Great Crossing leads. Free throw is good by LeCompte. She has 6 points out of the 12 now. Ward and Custard check back in. Skierman sits down along with Williams, both with the 2 personals. 3 dozen to 1 dozen here. 36 to 12. Lady Warhawks on top.
You're making a lot of people do the McMath out there. You
I
realize that,
am.
don't
I
you?
like to do that. Is it Alan Cutler, when he does a game, he always likes to say 96 seconds remaining. And
Yeah.
I'm like, man, no, don't do that to me, Alan. Drive by Ward, no good off the rim, but good strong rebound, but over the little contact as she reached in, I think. No, are they going to call it on Western Hills? Yeah, they are going to call it on Western Hills. I was right the first time. I thought Layla Custard thought she was going to get some free throws, but they called the foul on her instead. That's the 8th team foul on Great Crossing, so we're in a 1-on-1. The second quarter might take a while.
Yeah, it is.
We will have our Player of the Game award. First game tonight will be presented by Clark's Pump and Shop. Right next door to us here at the high school. There's also a location right next door to where I live, up near the News Graphic offices. 2 convenient places to get your gas and goodies. Free throw is good. The first one knocked down by LeCompte. Gives her 8 points on the evening, 36-14. Great Crossing in no danger at this point.
No, but Western Hills shoots free throws very well.
They do, especially LeCompte. You would expect that maybe with an 18, 19-point average she does. I'd like to look and see what her percentage is on the season. In fact, she's a 70% shooter, 63 for 90 coming into the game, so I guess that's no surprise.
Nice
McMath
pass.
dishes to Beam off the rim, no good, a little too strong on the layup attempt.
Well,
Rebound
she put the ball
by
on the floor there, Cal, and it didn't keep the ball high, and that's hard to do.
Over to Shropshire, it's good. And Rachel Shropshire, the 8th grader, has 4 points. Western Hills has kind of cut into the lead a little bit. It was what, 20 to 1 at one point?
Yes.
So they've actually knocked it down or kept it stable. It's at 19. McMath for 3. No. Yes. It rolls around. The shooter's roll.
The shooter's touch.
The friendly rims here at Great Cross. I was told they weren't friendly rims early in the preseason, but they started to like them, I think.
And there's nothing worse either. My goodness, and some stiff rims.
I think not only were the rims stiff, but they were having trouble getting them to regulation height. It was either 10'1" or 9'11", and they were having trouble finding the right elevation, but they got there. Another foul, another trip to the line for LeCompte. The foul was on Beam. It's the 9th for the Warhawks, so after this it'll be 2 each time. LeCompte makes another one.
She's just stroking them.
She's got 7 of her 10 points from the line.
She says, you all want to keep fouling me? I'm going to keep making free throws.
I see how she averages 18.9 a game. She'll probably get there tonight. And right now she's keeping this from getting to that running clock situation. It's still a 20-point lead with 5:19 remaining in the first half.
I think she needs a break.
Yeah, let's get her out of there, Coach. Come on. Nah, we want to see it be competitive. We don't want to see anybody get drilled here. Just a great start by Great Crossing. That was McMath. A hard pass to Barrett, who recovered and got it to Ward. Now to Smith and back to McMath up top. She thinks about a 3. She thinks hard, gets it over to Smith. Ball fake and then directs traffic. No need to rush things here for Great Crossing. Smith will dribble in and fire to McMath. Thought she might have gotten away with a walk there. McMath will pull up from the top of the key. It's going to roll around again, but be no good this time. Rebound for Shropshire.
She's got the shots tonight that are hitting every part of the rim and either going in or coming out. One of those nights.
Right around it.
Yep, one of those
If you
nights.
can be right around it, good things are going to happen. Wide open 3 there for Western Hills. Again, no good. Rebound Beam. She had Smith wide open if she looked up. Now Ward finds her uncontested. Rachel Smith. No. She was too wide open, but Barrett there for the putback. Reagan Barrett with 7 points, 41.
Reagan using every part of the backboard there, Cal. She threw it to the shot it to the very top and it went in.
Used the glass.
Used all of the glass. Exactly right.
Up to the top of the window. Lob pass inside to LeCompte. It's good. Off the glass for her as well. 41-21. 3:56 remaining in the half.
See, that situation right there is where I think Reagan Barrett needs to own the inside and say, hey, nobody's going to catch a pass in here.
McMath to Barrett. Barrett with a strong drive again. McMath with 11 points, but Barrett right there with 9. It has been a team effort tonight for the Lady Warhawks. Now just inside the arc, a wild shot rebounded by Haley Ward. Up ahead to Beam, who finds Barrett.
Nice
2-on-1 to Smith.
Oh, beautiful.
Smith had the easy shot. She could have given it back to Barrett. Either way, it was going to be 2.
That's normally what you do when the big person catches it. I say big person, big man, big lady catches it down on the break, get it right back to him.
Great Crossing, depending on the substitutions, could have all 5 starters in double digits before the half. That's a nice drive there by Kiana Mitchell. She has 4 points for Western Hills. So it's kind of basket for basket right now, or at least 2 points for 2 points, as LeCompte has made plenty from the line. 3 minutes to play in the second quarter. Smith from 3, I was going to say yes, it looked good. Now Barrett comes in and makes contact as she fights for the rebound.
Hey, I like that right there. It's something we hadn't seen in earlier games in the season. Reagan Barrett do that right there. She comes crashing in. She commits the foul, but you know what? I love that because next time down court, you got people looking over your shoulder going, uh-oh, she's going to crash in again.
She crashed. She picked up her first foul. It's the team's 10th, and to the line will be Rachel Shropshire, who has 4 points. It's a young team. We mentioned only 2 seniors for Western Hills, so these 2 teams are going to see a lot of each other.
And I think the future's bright for Western Hills. I mean, this Shropshire, look at. I know we're sitting up here, but she seems to be one of the tallest girls on the floor. She seems about 5'11", maybe 6 foot.
Basically, what you see is what you get on this court for the next 2 or 3 years in this rivalry.
It is.
There's a lot of 8th grade, freshman, sophomore type players getting it done. LeCompte's a senior. That might be good news for Great Crossing. Lane violation
Emma Beam
again.
stepped in.
Been the only.
She said, "I didn't mean to."
One of the few negatives in this half. They've had 2 lane violations to give Shropshire some extra chances. There I go again. Sets and shoots, no good. Rebound Williams. McMath waving the arms. Williams doesn't look up. Now she kicks it back to Custard, to Skierman, to McMath in the corner. Drives the baseline. No look dish to Williams for 3. In and out. Rebounded by Shropshire. Gets it over to Kilgore. Kilgore will bring it up for the Lady Wolverines. There's LeCompte, I think, getting a well-deserved breather right now. Shot is no good. Williams with a rebound once again.
There goes Williams on a loose.
Great Crossing pass. Has numbers up ahead to Custard. Bounce pass, probably a bounce pass she didn't need to make. She could have gone for the layup, tried to find Smith instead. Good break. It will stay with Great Crossing, however. Going to get a check in for Great Crossing for the first time tonight is Bianca Davis. Yet another freshman checks into the game.
He's got basically almost a middle school team, doesn't he?
It's amazing.
And it's such a, Western Hills is a small student body as well.
They're
10
like
through 12
with Frankfort. They're smaller schools than Franklin County, I believe. As there's a drive, no good. Rebound up and in by LeCompte.
It's a great rebound. LeCompte's very aggressive, and it shows in the scoring column because she really works for everything.
She averages 18. She's got 15.
Sure.
I mean, she is working hard on the glass, getting the ball to the rim. And now she'll make a steal.
You got to take a couple more dribbles.
Actually, that's number 3, Lauren McGahee. Now she'll get it to LeCompte, the short on the layup that time. Gets her own rebound, puts it up and in from baseline.
Nice.
She's got range, too.
Yeah, Great Crossing getting really, really lackadaisical right now, and leads cut to 18.
Yeah, well, it's down from 19 or 20, and Glenn Wilson will get a timeout and says, we had a chance to really put this game away. Instead, we've kind of fouled too much, let them back in it. And just second chances. A lot of offensive rebounds.
Yeah. And it comes from having a big lead, Cal, and leaking out. What I mean by leaking out, the old-fashioned words, cherry picking, snowbirding. What you do is you take off early and release and try to get you expecting someone else to get the rebound and throw it down court, which happens in a game like this. But you look up and you do that too much. Western Hills and LeCompte, they're really working the glass on both ends.
The offensive glass and the foul line, letting the Lady Wolverines stay in this one. McMath will bring it up now. Back to Williams, to Smith. Over to McMath, who looks to Smith behind that three-point line once again. Good arc, but no good. Skierman strong,
good rebound,
weak side
Ava.
Rebound.
Great rebound. Ava works for everything she gets. You know what? She really does. She works on both ends of the floor, and there's an 8th grader right there, and she's going to be something.
They will inbound the ball as we're not anywhere near the 1-and-1 yet. Only the 4th team foul for Western Hills. Inbound pass to McMath, now gets it back to Smith, who takes another 3. Yes, she gets the shooter's roll from the left corner.
That just shows you these girls, Cal, who are getting a lot of rim action, the ball's going in. It's showing you the beautiful rotation they have on ball. If you don't have good backspin and good form on a jump shot, you don't get the rim play. You really don't.
Western Hills under a minute. Attempt from just inside the arc is no good. Rebound for Williams. Great Crossing looking for 50 in the half. Williams will take it the distance. Her first points of this second quarter. She has 9. Everybody's getting 9 at least, except for Skierman, who has 7 among the starters. And there's a 3-point attempt by LeCompte. No good. Skierman with the rebound. Strong rebound. Pulls it away and dribbles up across the timeline. Probably a time and score. Nope, I say that, and Smith fires another three. It's no good. Skierman, strong offensive rebound again. Draws the contact. It gets knocked out of bounds. Will stay with Great Crossing, 16.2 ticks.
I'd like to see Skierman get a double-double one night, Cal. I really would. I mean, she can eat. I mean, she's at 7 points now, and I think she's got 4 or 5 rebounds.
She's on pace, depending on how things shake down and how long this game stays at stop time. Inbound pass to Williams, back to Smith. They've run that play a couple of times now, and it works again like a charm. Three-pointer, same spot, 53-27. Time ticking away in the half, 6 seconds. Ball knocked out of bounds. Will stay with Western Hills.
We can probably safe to say that Smith has no less than probably 8 to 9 3-point attempts in the first half.
She's made 3.
Yes.
She has not a lot of conscience. Steal by Williams. Long pass to Skierman. Fouled and will go to the line.
Nice move.
With 2 seconds remaining. Chance to pad this lead going into the locker room. McGahee gets her second foul. It's the 5th for Western Hills, so they stayed out of the bonus in the half. Free throw is about the only thing Western Hills, they had 10 free throws, which is more than their 8 field goals. I can do that, McMath, as Skierman makes the free throw.
They can, they can, they're good at the foul line, or at least this evening. I mean, they could be miserable for the year.
They're good at getting there, and that's half the battle. You know, for one thing, the clock stops. When you're down by 20, like they have been most of the half, Skierman makes both.
They don't need to foul here.
55-27. McMath tried to get her fingers on it, and the time will run out mercifully on Western Hills.
McMath got her digits on it.
Counting on her fingers. 55-27. Great Crossing, your leader over Western Hills. That quarter was only 23-19, though, so a little more evenly played, as we said. Kind of getting to the basket was certainly a key. We'll have some stats coming up as James Scoggin negotiating for stats down there, it looks like.
He's working down there, isn't he?
He's working on it. Marcia Ward, our stats guru, she always keeps me connected, even for the away games, which I'm happy for. As you said, there have been a lot of them lately.
I think everybody wonders when Cal Oaks isn't giving out stats and updates. Who do we go to? Who's on deck? Who's on the on-deck?
First, they want to do a wellness check, and secondly, they wonder where do we go? Well, that's good. I mean, we want to cultivate that reputation here. And
well, I can honestly say Scott County High School over the last how many ever years that you've been here now, Cal, and now Great Crossing this year, they've probably lost a lot of ticket money on you because you can, well, you can honestly sit at home.
And you know, I don't want to say it too loud. My boss and I have that same conversation. How much are you giving away on Twitter? Well, not a lot. So we'll have a second game tonight, as we said. We think it's going to be a good one compared to this one anyway in terms of closeness between the boys. They are both undefeated in the district. Western Hills 3-0. Great Crossing 2-0. We'll have, after this game, the Clark's Pump and Shop Player of the Game. This game brought to you by newsgraphic.com. Check it out. Check out all the game stories. They'll be in there by tomorrow night. You can pick up Thursday's edition on the newsstand, see all the color photos. We'll have both Scott County games, both Great Crossing games. We'll have a little bit of talk about Bill Cronin, Georgetown College football coach, being inducted into the NAIA Hall of Fame over the weekend. That was a big deal.
There it is.
We hit another half-court shot. You wonder what the roar is. That was the loudest roar of the half.
Hey, let's back up a little bit there, Cal. That was effortless from midcourt.
It was smooth.
Did you see that?
Get him a uniform.
That was effortless.
Coach Page, are you over there?
I mean, like he was in range jumper.
Why is this dude not playing?
Share your canes, young man.
Dude. Is that canes for a year, I believe?
And
that is
a uniform for the rest of the year.
I wonder if that's like once a week. In any case, it's still a great prize for, when I was that age, I'd have taken full advantage. My goodness, I might still. They are one of our great sponsors, Raising Cane's, along with DMK CPA, Georgetown College, Scott County Veterinary Clinic, Burger King, Bluegrass Orthopedics, as they will have one of our Player of the Game awards tonight as well. Steve Skierman and Kentucky Farm Bureau Insurance, Georgetown Community Hospital, Brickhouse Properties, Toyota Motor Manufacturing of Kentucky, Galvin's on Main, Chick-fil-A of Georgetown, Greens Toyota of Lexington, People's Bank, Clark's Pump and Shop. That'll do it for the sponsors right now. I want to also mention you can catch this week's Breaking the Huddle show online later in the week. Should be up Thursday. We'll talk about all 4 teams. We'll have highlights. We'll have commentary. I want to remind you about the Billy Hicks documentary. We're coming up on about the 1-year anniversary of that, but we're still happy to sell you a copy of that. If you go to the News Graphic offices, call us, and we can get that for you. It is well worth the investment as a historical piece for sure. As Coach Hicks, good to see him out and about. Saw him, he wouldn't want me to say this too loud, but I saw him at a Great Crossing game the other night. He was here to see Coach Matt Walls in the JV game.
You know, I think that's awesome, though, Cal. I mean, those kids, majority of the kids on the floor for Great Crossing played for Coach Hicks.
Oh, exactly.
They came through his system, so that's awesome for him to come out and to see those kids and supporting Matt Walls, who won a state championship in 2007, great point guard.
It's the last one to this point, but we're hopeful that those state championship days can come back around here sometime soon.
Yes.
As we got two programs that are working hard, 4 programs that are working hard on it. Certainly, I think the girls at Scott County have aspirations this year if they can get some things squared away and find some parts, some 4th, 5th parts to go along with the 3 pretty proven ones that they have already. Great Crossing has 5 players with 9 or more points in this incredible first half that they've played tonight. Smith with 15, McMath with 11, Williams, Skierman, and Barrett all with 9. And the only non-starter to score is Emma Beam with 2. My spell check wanted to correct Beam to Boeheim.
Jimmy Boeheim.
For Western Hills, LeCompte has been the story, as we said she might be. She has 17 out of the 27.
And average is 18. She's a nice player.
They have Shropshire with 4, Mitchell with 4, and Kilgore with 2 to round it out. You can probably hear the band playing here in the background as we'll get to talking about the boys' game here as we got about 5 minutes to go before the start of the second half. Derek Varney, what are you expecting in terms of that battle tonight? As we said, both undefeated teams in the district. Western Hills with 9 wins on the season, near the halfway point. That's a good start for them in terms of historical perspective, as we mentioned. But Great Crossing's kind of got to get back on track. They had 2 tough games over the weekend, Trinity and Douglas. I think we both could have envisioned them losing both games, but they were double-digit losses, and they were losses where I think Coach Page thought there was a lot of individual basketball being played. Is that something that as a coach you can shake out of your team at this point in the year?
Well, you're talking about this point in the year. That would be a huge issue with me, especially at this point in the year. Early in the season, yes, you have individuals that try to do their thing and they try to, as we say, get theirs. But now we're halfway point through January. And, you hope you're not faced with that. But if you are, you got to do your thing. You got to bring them in individually, and you literally have to sit them down and talk to them and go, look, you're doing this, or show them on film. Hey, look what you did here. Look at this absolutely selfish play. What's going on here? Tonight's game, I'm looking for Great Crossing to come back out and get on track. From what I hear, talking to Coach Tony Weiss of Franklin County, he played this Western Hills team, and they played to the very end. And he said they can flat play. It is one of their better teams. But again, Jalen Barber is the factor. If they get him going tonight, I don't think Western Hills has anybody. I mean, you have their sizes. I don't think there's anybody that can match up with him. And the games that you and I have done that they've won, because we are that good luck charm for, as Coach Steve Page says, can we get you all to do all of them? Because we're actually 3-0 with Great Crossing. But, Jalen Barber, he can't be up, and which he has been, up one game, down the next. He can completely take over and dominate a game, what's that do for everybody else around him? That just makes the game easier for them and makes your, Michael McKenzie and your KJ Tucker and your Neil Baker, makes them a lot better, and they look a lot better. And
the thing with Jalen Barber, too, we saw it the other night against Douglas, he's had some issues in the past with stamina. I think he's shaken that a little bit. But by the same token, they send 3 or 4 people at him every time he gets the ball in the low post. and that wears him down. The other night against Douglas, he was 6 for 6 from the line in the first quarter. He was 2 for 6 from the line in the second half, so you could see it wearing him down. And once they couldn't get the ball inside and consistently score with him, Douglas had its way.
Yeah, and it is a stamina issue with Jalen, always has been. He's always been able to play in probably about 4 or 5 minute spurts. He plays really hard, and then what you have to do from that point is try to get him to keep up with everybody else. And we all know when your stamina goes, your mental capacity drops to a whole different level as well in basketball, and that's tough. So Coach Page, I know he's still filling these guys out. We did say mid-January, but he has to get a rotation down. That also hurts you. I don't know how deep his bench is right now. You got, Caleb Perry that comes in off the bench. I don't know if they've made any. I don't know if Skierman's still starting or they've kind of flip-flopped those guys.
They've got the same starting lineup.
Okay.
They added a piece Saturday night. Taekwon Stakelin, you may know Tajan Stakelin, who plays football at Scott County, his little brother, gave him some good minutes. That was his first varsity time. And I think Coach Page is going to use him to kind of especially on the defensive end, to kind of get after people and see what he can do. He played 12 or 13 minutes in that one. So
good.
They've stretched the bench out a little bit more lately, and they're going to need to continue to get those contributions. Want to segue back to the girls a little bit. The shooting percentage, 57.5 for Great Crossing. That's unbelievable. 23 of 40. If you can take 40 shots in the half and have that kind of percentage. You mentioned Ava Skierman, double-double. She's on her way. 9 points and 7 rebounds.
I want to see it.
11 points for McMath, 15. You also said Rachel Smith has probably taken 8 or 9 three-pointers. She is 3 for 7 with 15 points. Timmy Williams with 5 steals, Smith with 3. McMath and Skierman McMath and Haley Ward both with 2. McMath has 4 assists. Turnovers 16-7. That's on the good side for Great Crossing as they have the 7. Rebounds pretty much even, 19-17 in favor of the Warhawks, as the Lady Warhawks have ripped open a 28-point lead. They have more than doubled up Western Hills here in the first half. Western Hills only 1 of 6 from long range. Great Crossing 6 for 15. Rachel Smith hit those 2 back-to-back right at the end of the half. They kind of got Great Crossing back on track. I think they'd gone a little stagnant. I mean, I don't want to say stagnant, but it had been a kind of a basket-for-basket situation, and they kind of were able to stretch out the lead again and maybe threaten that magic 35-point barrier that we've been talking about a little bit.
Yeah,
hinting at.
absolutely. And Cal, you can most certainly, Great Crossing can develop bad or do some bad things in games like this, because again, what we talked about earlier with the guys, you can go individual here when you look up and you're up 28 points.
This team seems to almost be unselfish to a fault at times.
They do. They overpass sometimes. You're exactly right.
So hopefully that's the case. They don't lapse into that sort of selfishness. There's a good shot there from the deep left baseline by Audrey Butler to get Western Hills on the board in the half.
The pass across the baseline was as good. Was really good.
Timmy Williams over to Smith, to McMath. Now finds Skierman in the corner. They work it on the outside to Smith, who takes another 3. We said she's not shy. She fires up another one. Rebound comes down to Western Hills. The Lady Wolverines haven't won a district game yet. Don't think they're going to start tonight, although they take it to the basket there. And we're picking up where we left off in terms of the fouls, as it was a double bonus in the first half. Great Crossing picks up its first here as Williams acquires her third with 7:04 remaining in the third quarter.
I think the referees get quite a workout in these type games as well, because, again, everything gets sloppy and there is a lot of fouling.
Yeah, and you can't, everybody says let it go, but
no,
at the same time,
right.
you talk about not getting into bad habits. You don't want teams to get into that habit.
Sure.
You kind of, the quality of the game needs to stay straight up. So the officiating has to stay straight up. First free throw was no good. Second one goes in.
From top of her head.
Yeah, she's in interesting form there, does Lauren McGahee.
Right, and it went in, and not making fun of it at all. If it works for you and it's hitting the bottom of the
whatever you got.
It's getting you the result, and keep doing it.
Smith again from that same spot for 3. It's missed twice now. She's good from the corner, though. They got the offensive rebound. Skierman with another one. Now a shot by Williams from 3 is no good, and the rebound comes down to McGahee.
I have to say, if I'm Coach Wilson, our underneath girls are working their tails off under there, and then the other girls are standing out there just launching.
LeCompte with a stop and pop, and it's good. So Western Hills is up to a 5-0 start here in the half, and they've cut it to 23.
There's nobody. Reagan needs to get active right here in the middle.
They have settled for outside threes here so far.
Well, there's a couple times down floor, Cal, that Reagan is posting up hard. She's wild, as you see her doing it again right there, and she's getting overlooked. They're not even looking.
Too strong on the three. Rebound comes down to Mitchell. You know, the key to the first half was mostly transition, and there just hasn't been any here to start the second half. There's some as Williams. Yeah, boy, I should just talk more often. Or not. She got blocked there by Lecomte, and Lecomte tore away the rebound. Now it's a three-point attempt. No good from the left wing by Butler. Rebound, McMath up ahead to Smith. Pulls up from inside the arc. No good. They're still not on the scoreboard with 5:38 remaining in the third quarter. Lady Warhawks have been shut out so far in the half after, I think they had 20 in about 2 minutes to start the game. At this point in the first quarter, they had 20.
Smith has gotten off 4 shots this half.
She has. She's high volume.
Yes, sir.
That ball is out of bounds. Unforced error for Western Hills. Haley Ward will check in for Rachel Smith, as I think Coach Wilson's seen enough of the out-of-the-flow threes. Slow dribble up court for Braley McMath. Coming up on 3 minutes down here in the half and still no points. They work it inside to Skjorman. Off the glass, no good. Rebound by Mitchell. Or I'm sorry, that is Kilgore. 2 and 12. They both got the ponytail covering. They all do.
Yeah, those numbers. It's
really frustrating.
Tough.
The numbers are fine. It's the hair. Turnover again. Offensive foul. That'll be on number 10, and Lecomte, and that's her third. And that's bad news for Western Hills, as she has 19 points. Her season average, and still 12:55 to go in the game. Lecomte will sit down, and maybe Great Crossing can take advantage here a little bit. We'll see. McMath inside to Barrett, kicks it back out to Williams, to McMath to Ward. Left corner, left side three is no good. They are 0 for.
Wow.
And we're down to 4:40 remaining in the third quarter. So a big lead, but not the start that Coach Glenn Wilson would want to the second half. It's been night and day and night in this case.
You know, you just got to encourage them, keep playing hard, and you know.
Good things will come. They work the ball inside, does Western Hills, and Kilgore gets a layup. It's 7-0 this half. You don't want to panic, but it's now a 21-point margin. Williams.
Right there. Reagan Barrett is posting hard. I mean, she's right there. They got to look in. I don't know. There you go.
To Barrett.
And there we get a foul.
Fouled by number 12, Kilgore.
Reagan is so nice and such a sweet girl that she's
got to be less nice.
She may have to, right. She's going to have to sometimes look at those guys and go, hey, get it inside. I'm working my tail off.
So with 4:01 remaining in the third quarter, Reagan Barrett has a chance to finally get the Warhawks on the board, and she does with a free throw. That's her 10th point of the night. 56-34, Great Crossing leads. Makes them both. And can they get some pressure on? No, Western Hills gets across the timeline, but she dribbled out of bounds. It will go back to Great Crossing. Lecomte on the bench, chance to maybe make a run and put this thing away once and for all. It's become a half-court game here in the second half, and that's not necessarily normally what Great Crossing wants to do. But, again, you got to save something for Friday night, too. They got a big one coming up, traveling on Williams.
Friday night is who they have.
They are at Franklin County.
That's right.
And Franklin County, for all intents and purposes, could clinch the regular season title with a win. Not necessarily mathematically, but that would give them a 2-game lead over everybody. And I don't see anybody but Great Crossing being any threat to them. Going to be a foul, and Western Hills will go to the line. Lecomte is checked back in, by the way, and she will be the one to take the free throws. Skjorman picks up her third foul, only the second of the half for the Lady Warhawks. Off the rim, no good with the first attempt, Maddie Lecomte.
As it looks like the Western Hills team is headed to the dressing room.
They don't look overly tall. You're right about
Right, yeah.
Jalen maybe having the advantage there. Both free throws no good, and Ava Skierman gets another rebound. That's number 9 unofficially. Ward from 3, another one who's not shy, and we see why. She drains it from the left wing right in front of Coach Glenn Wilson. And that's the first field goal of the half for Great Crossing. 60-34
Good
they
pass.
lose. Nice pass there on bounce, but they couldn't get the layup to fall. Shropshire missed it. Rebound taken down by Ava once again. That'll put her in double digits. Now she just needs 1 point to get that double-double.
That's her 10th rebound, right?
That's what I've got, 3.5 at least. 26-point lead for the Lady Warhawks, who are well on their way to 7-7, their 6th consecutive victory. And offense has certainly been the key in that run. They've all been 65 points or more. They had 95 in one game, 87 in another. At 55 at the half tonight, it slowed down considerably as McMath with a cross-court pass to Ward. Skierman in the corner. Yes, there it is. 3-pointer for Ava. 12 points for the 8th grader. 63-34.
12 and 10.
Nice game for someone that's not even in high school.
She may have a
McMath putting the pressure on, getting the steal, taking it to the hoop, and scores. Her first basket of the half, Braley with a baker's dozen. 31-point lead behind the back dribble for Kilgore of Western Hills. Now she'll get it to number 3, McGahee.
Can Skierman get us a Shea Gildress Alexander game?
20-20 and 10.
20-20 and 10. How about that?
He said, I want 20-20 and 20 next time.
Yep.
Ball was stolen, tipped away by Williams and taken by McMath. Now Barrett with the jumper, got it to roll around but not in. A rebound to Kilgore. Under 2 minutes to play in the third quarter. 31-point lead for the Great Crossing Lady Warhawks. Boys game coming up a little after 7:30 probably at this rate. Nice work inside from LeCompte to Shropshire, who will go to the line. It's been a familiar place for her tonight, but she hasn't been able to get many of them to fall. She's 2 for 8. She is a tall one. She will be a factor as she's only an 8th grader. Her game will continue to evolve, I'm sure, and be a thorn in Great Crossing's side for years to come. Makes this one go. Cuts it to 30, 65-35. Layla Custard checks back in for the Lady Warhawks. Along with Olivia Tierney. I think that's the first time we've seen Olivia tonight. Second one is no good. Rebound tipped around, or fought for and recovered by Skierman, who gets it to McMath. McMath in the open court, dribbles between 2 Western Hills Lady Wolverines, gets it over to Ward. Ward back to Skierman, a drive through traffic with a scoop. Knife through butter, but can't put it on the bread. And Western Hills comes back quickly. LeCompte, she'll get fouled and go to the line.
Well, she's a player. What year is LeCompte?
She's a senior, mercifully. She doesn't have a whole lot of help right now, and it's kind of too bad for her. You see some of these young players for Western Hills, and you think they have something going, but she's having to carry it right now. Chance to get it under 30 here. She can't get that one to fall. I think she's wearing down a little bit.
She is,
She's missed her last 3 from the line.
A little frustration there.
Third foul on Custard for Great Crossing. Another one around the rim and no good. Skierman with another rebound. Up to McMath, who kicks it over to Ward. Now in the corner to Tierney, who will fire. No good. Rebound Ward. McMath again inside the arc. Good. Around the rim and in.
She's money. She is absolute money.
Finds
Every
a
part
way.
of her game is really good.
Her mid-range game, her three-point game, her no-look pass game, her bounce pass game.
We'll just go with her all-around game.
Defense.
Her steals, yes.
She does it all. She stuffs the stat sheet. Nice layup there, up and under by Kilgore. Has 6 points, 67-37. Waning moments of the third period, down to the 32nd mark as McMath dribbles it up, gets it over to Haley Ward. Catch and shoot 3 is good. Ward has hit 2 in this quarter. One basket away from that magical 35-point line. that we know and love. Western Hills content to dribble out the remaining time here in the third quarter, though. McMath will get right up on number 15. That's Denise Waddell. Waddell over to Butler.
May not get a shot off.
Attempted steal by McMath. Shropshire gets blocked by Custard as the buzzer sounds. 70-37 your score with 8 minutes to play. .33 lead for the Lady Warhawks, and we're going to have a tough time figuring out who the Clark's Pump and Shop player of the game is. Or who is the Clark's Pump and Shop player of the game, to use better English.
Yeah, we can go.
Right, I like Ava Skierman.
I like Ava Skierman too. I really do.
Her brother had one earlier in the year. We might as well even it out in the family. I mean, we're not giving it yet, but certainly she'd be a leading candidate.
And I can always, each and every game, I could give it to McMath. You know that.
Oh yeah, I mean we've done our best to kind of, and the players have done a good job spreading it out, but we've also tried not to harp on one player too much. The good thing about this year's teams is I think there has been that kind of balance. There is no one, and in Kentucky basketball, you can't lean on one, as we see from Western Hills. You need more than that. And Great Crossing has found its footing here, certainly as we get into the midway point of the season. This will be 6 consecutive wins. The Lady Warhawks are 7-7. Looking at Franklin County this Friday and Scott County next Friday, so the tests are going to be there. But again, after that, they can get on another run going into the playoffs, and this is going to be a team to be reckoned with. The top 5 team in the 11th region, I think, right now, no question.
Absolutely.
You look at Franklin County, Scott County, and Dunbar, and then after that, it's up for grabs.
And they continue. And the thing about it is, what Coach Wilson has to love, continue to play well and better each game.
Yes, I mean they have moments like early in that third quarter where they looked their age. But, boy, tonight they got off and running early and were relentless. Long rebound for Timmy Williams as she will not get it to the 35, but she'll have a chance to go to the line and do it as she drew the block. As the Western Hills player could not get back in time. It's Denise Waddell drawing the foul. 7:38 remaining. Whether or not it will run from here on out depends on these free throws by Timmy Williams, who's a good free throw shooter, and, of course, I jinxed it. No good. She'll have a second. No bonus situation yet here in the second half. Only the third team foul for Western Hills. Williams makes that free throw. Her first point of the second half gets her into double digits. Now all 5 starters are there. I believe that's at least the third time on this winning streak that Great Crossing's had 5 players with 10 or more points. So they are sharing the wealth. Western Hills picks up a couple of dribbles, now settles for a long 3 that's wild. Williams gets the rebound, comes back the other way. They have numbers. They have Skierman on the break. She'll get fouled and go to the line, and Ava will have a chance to do the honors. I want to thank you for joining us on the Bird's Nest Broadcasting Network, brought to you by NFHS Network and news-graphic.com, where you can find archived games if you want to relive a couple. You can find stories from literally every basketball game this winter as Skierman misses the first free throw. It's like there's a lid on that 35 point.
Right there, it really is.
They just can't open it. Skierman taking her time, and mercy, we get it.
There it is.
72-37. The final 7-12 will run. That'll be the first running time victory in school history for Great Crossing. I think the boys might have had one earlier this year, but that's the first for the girls.
I think they probably had one in that against the Indianapolis team, didn't they?
They did. That was the one. And that was a close game until midway second quarter.
I think wasn't Great Crossing down after the first quarter?
They were down
like
by
10?
They were down 19-9 after the first quarter, and then stormed back and won. I think they scored 87 or 89 in that game. Wholesale substitutions now that the running time has kicked in as Haley Ward, Emma Beam, Layla Custard, Olivia Tierney.
As Chris Berman would say, tick, tick, tick,
tick, tick, tick, tick, tick, tick. Chapel Brown in the game as well. And we'll have a jump ball, held ball situation. It will go to the home team. And the clock does not stop. Hallelujah.
Well, and you think about this situation here. You get your, I say young, they're both young, but you get some even younger girls and more inexperienced girls, some playing time right here.
Chapel Brown's another middle school student, I believe. I think she's an 8th grader. She'll get the rebound there. No good on the layup.
Good pass.
And then we'll come back the other way, uncontested for Western Hills. Number 12, she gets it to go down. Kellen Kilgore.
Yep.
That's 8 points for her. She's second in command to LeCompton. That's about her average. So they're all getting about what they normally get in this game, but it's going to take more than that against a team like Great Crossing, as they have found out to their
She hit that layup
chagrin.
and said, I'm Kilgore, not Kilroy.
She's got a secret she's been hiding.
You have to be around our age in order to get
My
all
goodness,
of that right there, Cal.
I love games like this because I will find a way, or you will find a way to get the 80s pop culture references in there. We've got a foul. We've got another trip to the line for Western Hills. Some people might say we've got too much time on our hands.
Too much time on our, yes, exactly. Well, think about the songs when you say that. Did they put you exactly where you were?
Oh,
when you
absolutely.
I mean, the public
5th grade,
pool, right?
Fifth grade, Mr. Roboto,
Oh.
spring of '83.
Yes.
Getting ready to play some senior league baseball. And the second free throw is good for Kilgore. She's got her team to an even 40 right now. Chapel Brown will get called for the walk. 4:45 and we're rolling. This game will end right around 7:15, so we won't be too late with the boys tip-off scheduled for 7:30. It's a busy night of 7:30 games. Both Scott County teams in action as well. We'll do what we can to get scores while we're on the air. If not, certainly go to my Twitter, Oaksy72, or newsgraphic.com over the next 24 hours. You can get all the details. Inbound pass, LeCompte tried to chase it down, I should say, and then a wild shot from Shropshire, who has had an up-and-down night, but certainly has been in there most of the night as an 8th grader for Western Hills. Now they'll get some subs in the game.
You know, you just don't see the difference in girls and guys when you look up and you're down 30-some points and they come off the floor. They all run off the floor. They all seem like do-do-do. You know, it's just another day. You know.
You can't tell what the score is by looking at
You
them.
can, and they're not going to slap the chairs when they sit down.
No.
They're not as emotional when it comes to
and we're not stereotyping. I've seen it for
all.
40 years of watching girls and boys play basketball now.
It makes me happy to see that.
Yes, that's the way it should be. As Chapel Brown makes a three.
There's nothing worse than seeing a group of guys walking off the floor, kicking chairs, and really, just having bad attitudes. It's refreshing to see.
Chapel Brown, ladies and gentlemen, is a 7th grader, and I believe that was her first varsity basket. Olivia Tierney was all alone. Now she'll step behind the arc and fire one. It rolls around, no good. Rebound Beam, no good. Rebound Western Hills. (75-40), 3 minutes to play. Great Crossing has got this one in hand. Going 7-7 on the season. 3-point attempt by Ward. Second chance for Custard is good. And there'll be a timeout just for subs, as Kaylee Ray will check into the game along with Bianca Davis. Sitting down will be Beam. No, it'll be Ward and Custard. Beam will stay in. They couldn't quite decide what they were going to do. Spared us about 20 seconds there as we're down to the 2:25 mark. Clock's been running since about a minute in, 7:12. I wrote it down. Attempted steal by Beam is going to be a foul.
I actually thought it was a good steal.
I thought so too. I think just about everybody did except for
the stripes.
The person whose opinion mattered most.
Right.
At the line for Western Hills, Turner, 1-1.
Olivia Turner at the line for Western Hills. First time we've called her name tonight. She makes the first.
They can shoot some free throws.
Western Hills will drop to 0-3 through the first round of Of course, there were only 4 teams in the girls division of the 41st District. There's no Frankfort Christian girls team. There is, however, in the boys. So the boys play 7 district games, kind of like the 42nd where they play Sayre once.
Mm-hmm.
Both free throws good for Turner. It's a 35-point margin once again. Brown for 3. I thought that was going to be good again, but it rolled around no good, and Western Hills got the rebound.
She's got a nice little touch on her.
And she's another one that's not shy about putting it up.
No.
She knows what she's in there to do. I'm excited about the future of this Great Crossing girls basketball program for sure. We've mentioned it many times, only 2 juniors, Braylon McMath being one of them. Haley Ward being the other, so only 1 junior in the starting lineup. More free throws for Turner. Clock does stop for free throws. 1:33 remaining. Turner misses, rebound Beam. Up ahead to Tierney. Tierney drives, shoots off the glass. Thought might get an and one there, but it rattled in and out. She'll go to the line to earn them the hard way.
It's a tough shot.
Yeah, and high off the window. Olivia Tierney makes the first. Tierney, an 8th grader. Brown, a 7th grader. Skierman, an 8th grader. Davis, Beam, Barrett, Ray, all freshmen.
Now, question, do they play middle school ball at all? Do they go down
Yeah,
and help
they
them?
do it in the fall. I believe
That's
girls
right.
middle
It
school is in the fall.
That's exactly right.
And then they do, I think they do the same thing with soccer and play it in the spring or something. So kids can play up. They don't do it with the boys. You can play up as a boy, but you can't do both because of that. They play at the same time. 79-42, under a minute, as Tierney will hustle and chase it down in the backcourt, pick it up, get it to Beam, who draws. Nope, should travel.
Beam didn't know the girl was there beside her when she tried to put a dribble down.
And she tried to step around her and got called for the lock. 35 seconds and counting as Great Crossing will celebrate its 6th consecutive win. They'll go to 2-1 in the 41st District and get ready for Franklin County, a showdown game. They haven't lost many since the first time they saw Franklin County. Another steal by Beam, another 3-point attempt by Tierney, in and out. Rebound comes down.
Again.
Another, and another, and another, and another. None of them go down, and the final score will be Great Crossing 79 and Western Hills 42 as the 3-pointer falls shy at the buzzer. Another great win for the Great Crossing Lady Warhawks. Your player of the game tonight, presented by Clark's Pump and Shop, will be the 8th grader, Ava Skierman. As she had a double-double. We'll find out exactly how many rebounds, but it was 12 points. She played well. 5 starters, all of them in double digits. Glad I wrote down the final score because they took it off the scoreboard quickly. 79-42 as Great Crossing picks up the W over WHHS, Western Hills High School out of Frankfort. We'll take a short break. We'll come back with some stats. Actually, we're going to wait until he brings up the stats, and then we'll take the break. Make sure we get those before we do our between games thing, and I go down and talk to some of the participants in that one. Rachel Smith had a nice night with 15 points all in the first half. Brayley McMath had 15 points. They spread it out. When you have 5 in double digits and nobody with more than 15, you're sharing it around pretty well.
Yes, you are. And again, they just come out. Great Crossing just came out and they just blitz you. That first 3 minutes the last games that I've seen, the first 3 minutes, they just absolutely they're on a torrid pace. They're knocking down threes. They're getting steals. You look up and again, 22-2 at one point, I believe it was.
Mm-hmm. At least 20-1, and I think you're right. I mean, so much of this game, as you know, is confidence, and this team's playing with a load of it right now. Winning sometimes breeds winning.
Absolutely does.
It often does. Maddie LeCompte had a nice game for Western Hills, ended up with 19 points. Kellen Kilgore added 9. We've got our stats here shortly. Yes, as they left a basket out there. What are you seeing at first glance, at last glance?
Stat sheet.
Oh, sorry.
I didn't
There's
receive
only
it yet.
one.
Yeah,
that's
that's
well.
okay.
I guess
That's okay.
I'm asking you a question you can't answer.
For Western Hills, 23 turnovers. That
16 of them in the first half.
yeah, and they did settle in a little bit in the second half there, and committing just 7 turnovers there in the second half. That's not bad. And they didn't play. If you take away the complete first quarter.
Great Crossing called off the Dogs a little bit. That was kind of why the first 4 minutes of the third quarter were a scoreless fiasco.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And Western Hills shoots 34% for the game. Great Crossing 44% for the game. Rebound totals. Great Crossing had 38 to Western Hills 31. So Great Crossing's a +7 in the rebound category. So that's the main things I look at right there. You name the point leaders. Rachel Smith had 15. Timothy Williams had 10.
How many rebounds for Ava?
Ava Skierman had 13 points, 13 rebounds.
13 and 13.
She had a baker's dozen of both. So
she did have 13. I had her for 12, and I read one of my 2s as a 3.
Yep.
So that's 13 and you said 13
yep,
and
13 and 13.
13 and 13. You gotta love that.
Great night. Great night for Ava.
So this is a team that's growing in confidence, growing in experience, and good things are going to continue to happen. It's going to get testy and tough on Friday night as they go to Franklin County.
Absolutely.
But looking forward to that one on the road. I get to go to the Rare Road game as it's going to be the best and only game in town on Friday night.
The Rare Road game, all of about 12 miles.
Yeah, I like that. I like the road game.
Absolutely.
Just a hop, skip, and a jump down 460 here. All right, we'll be back with you in about 10 minutes, maybe 12 minutes to talk about the boys' matchup. It's going to be a good one. Western Hills and Great Crossing coming at you shortly here on the Bird's Nest Broadcasting Network.